So, this is the podcast overview for Chapter 5, Coping with Stress. And so, really, we're just playing off of what we covered last week, understanding the physiology of stress and how it operates, and now how to cope with it. So, the first key thing is defining what we mean by coping, and then the various strategies that people use in trying to cope. What are those strategies, and what are some goals of our efforts when we attempt to cope? Like, if I'm coping with something stressful, what am I trying to do there? Knowing the difference between some of those types of coping, like problem-focused coping and emotion-focused coping. What's the goal of each of those? How are each used? Remember, neither one is better than the other. They're just different in how they're used. Some people attack the problem and therefore reduce stress. Some people attack how they view the problem, think about it, feel about it, and therefore reduce stress. So they're used a little differently. Know some good examples of each. Then understand some of the more negative types of coping, like avoidant coping, and then more positive types like proactive coping. When might those be used? How would they be used differently? And then how would people use various coping methods differently depending upon who the person is, right? So there are individual factors that play a role in maybe what style of coping I choose. What do I tend to gravitate towards, right? We see people coping in positive ways and negative ways, and what might factor into that? Like, why might I as a person gravitate towards drinking every time I'm stressed out versus going out and exercising when I'm stressed out? One is a positive coping strategy, one's a negative coping strategy. Are there certain kinds of individuals that are drawn towards one or the other? That's what's for you to find out this week in the reading. Be able to explore the ways that a person can expand his or her social support network, mainly because social support is found to be very positively correlated with how we deal with stress. We cope better when we have a support system in place. So what are the ways that people can actually make themselves have a better support system? What also is the link between exercise and feeling better? And what are some various techniques people can use to reduce their stress? So stress management techniques and different relaxation techniques. You're looking here at various options such as medication and cognitive and behavioral methods for relaxation. What elements each of those entails, and what examples would be in each of those categories. So just know the various approaches to stress management. And then explain how stress management can be used to reduce one's risk of coronary heart disease. That when we actually can effectively employ these strategies, we can do something like reduce our risk for heart disease.